Last year, I got what I thought was my dream job at Facebook. Good package, good team, good vision. But quite quickly I realised the role I was in didn't align with where I saw myself at or who I saw myself as at the time. In this video, I'm going to talk through the reasons why I left Facebook after only 3 months and reflect on whether it was the right decision to do so. One of the important things I think about when starting new jobs or in existing jobs is the impact I'm putting on society. So when I was picking my team at Facebook, I luckily got to join a team that aligned quite closely with my values, the bullying and harassment team. But after a few months in this role, I realized that the impact I wanted to create was much greater than the impact I would have been creating if I continued in this position. What this meant was the work I received and foresaw myself receiving was often a small part of someone else's initiative. And the impact I hoped our team would create ranked quite low on Facebook's priorities. When working in data, professional development is of course super important, and being constantly on the ball of all the new tools is also quite important. While working at Facebook, I found the tooling a little bit painful. Knowing that there were amazing companies out there creating amazing tools while we developed on an uphill incline just so we didn't have to rely on these was very frustrating. On top of this, because I joined during COVID, it meant that all the initial training was done remotely and independently, so I didn't get to take advantage of the 2-week development course they usually have, where you might meet other people who are in the same situation as you and learning the same things you are. This meant that I did just feel a little bit too detached from everything when I first joined, and I didn't really have anyone else I can lean on that was going through the same thing as me at that point in time. There was a lot of support offered by Facebook, but I just know that it would have been a lot more enjoyable and more straightforward in person. Facebook's core business model is around its social media platforms and the revenue it generates from targeted ads. And before I even joined Facebook, I already had certain feelings and stances towards this and towards the industry. I myself wasn't really sure how I felt about social media and the need for targeted ads and all this kind of harvesting of our data. And I realized that once I joined Facebook that I hadn't resolved all these feelings and thoughts in myself. And what that meant is that when it came to having these working groups and meetings, I'd often hold opinions or stances that were in direct contradiction with what other people felt and what other people thought. And it meant that I really struggled to be helpful for some of these conversations. So long story short, I wasn't quite sure how I felt about social media at the time, and it didn't feel like the right place to figure that out. Facebook pays well. So of course the compensation offered by Meta was amazing. Good base salary, stock options, bonuses, and all the other benefits you get. So the package they give you is obviously very great and can make you feel very secure. But at that point in time, I could see how if I stayed around for any longer while figuring things out, it would become even harder to leave. Because of the uncertainty I felt at that time about the role and whether it was right for me, I realized that it was important to make a decision quite quickly and not get too settled and comfortable in that position. Working at a manga company is a lifestyle, and not necessarily the lifestyle I wanted for myself. And the cherry on top of all of these reasons to not work at Facebook was the fact that there were other opportunities out there, and other opportunities that felt very time sensitive to me. So, was it the right decision? 100% yes. Of course, I could have considered other teams or other areas within Facebook, so the biggest deciding factor for me was that it just wasn't the right time or place for what I needed. One day, maybe I'll work with Meta again. We'll see. So one piece of advice I want to leave you with is that remember that your probationary period isn't just for the business to assess you, but for you to also assess whether the business is right for you. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you next time.